Hey, this is Miss Marcie, and I just wanted to do a real quick video for y'all. I wanted to share with you guys my DNA Ancestry results. Yes, honey. I was excited to do this test because I find it very interesting. I'm always one of those people that like to know where I come from and who I'm kin to and all that good stuff. And this test actually traces your maternal and paternal side. Now, it doesn't tell you who's kin to you on what side, because what it does is it gives you a breakdown of your ethnicity, and it also shows you people that you actually share DNA with all over the world. If they've taken the test and you guys share DNA, they're going to be in your match DNA. So anyway, so I've always been the kind of person who always wanted to know where I come from and you know, just who I'm kin to and things like that, because believe it or not, y'all, this is a small world and you just never know who you're kin to. So anyway, I took the test. Well, I ordered the test back on August the 3rd. Sent in my DNA sample, my spit basically. Sent that back in. They received it August the 15th. They started to process it on September the 1st, and I received my results on September the 13th. So it really wasn't that long that I had to even wait to receive my results. But the main thing you want to do if you're going to order this test is you want to activate it as soon as possible, so that way when they get your results back in, they'll be able to just post it to your account with no problems, because there's a code number that they assign you, and that's how they match up your DNA with who with your sample that you send in. So moving right along, I also think this test is interesting because a lot of times you think you have a certain culture in you, and you may not, and or you may feel or you may think that you don't have a certain culture in you, and you actually do. So for me, like for instance, all my life I always thought I was half Native American or Indian, whatever we want to call them, but Native American is the correct term. So I always thought I was half Native American, but I'm not. My test results show me that I was zero. I had 0% Native American in me. So like right here, you see I'm 28% Nigerian. Now I was always told, from other Africans that I look like I'm from the eastern part of Kenya, but clearly not. And then I have 201 fourth cousins or closer. So it'll show you your first, second, third, up to your fourth cousin. And actually I've seen it go up to your eighth cousin too. And so here's the breakdown even more. I'm 81% African, 28% Nigerian, 17% Ivory Coast and Ghana, and y'all can see the rest. And what I found interesting too is my mother took this test as well, and hers was she had more of the Ivory Coast / Ghana. My mother is lighter than I am. She's a much lighter complexion than I am. My mother actually had 1% of Native American in her. And like I said, it's interesting because my grandmother was half Native American, and so was my great grandmother, which was her mother. But they say that the more generations, it lessens the strand of the Native American strand, and that makes a lot of sense. So, honey, half of us black folks running around here thinking we got Indian in us, and you know what I'm saying? We may not. I was talking to a guy who actually works at DNA Ancestry, and he was telling me that some people actually get mad when they find out that they don't have Native American in them. And I just knew, I said, I didn't even say nothing, but I was thinking, I'm like, I know that's some black folks. I know for real, Native Americans have always been known to be a beautiful culture. I mean, just like other cultures, but they have always been known to be beautiful people, high cheekbones and, curly hair and all that good stuff, kind of like, like a pretty complexion and, things like that. So I guess that's why folks get mad. I don't know, but I wasn't upset. It was just good to know. So anyway, so yeah, I thought that was pretty cool to find out. And what else? Oh yeah, so you see the Senegal 2%. I would have thought that was higher too for some reason. Let me see what else. and you see the Asian. So they test for like different regions and everything to see, where your ancestors, where they would have been, and how far your DNA goes back. But it's really cool. Let me tell you something else that was cool. So this young lady, she reached out to me on Ancestry Messenger, because you can message each other on there too. And we started to conversate. She's actually a fourth cousin. So we started to conversate. We were messaging back and forth for about a week. And so she was just like, we have a high DNA match, blah, blah, blah. So we were just conversating and stuff, and just kind of talking and stuff, and asking each other where our families were from and everything. So we became Facebook friends. Now, when we became Facebook friends, I noticed we had some mutual friends, and I'm like, what the hell? Because my profile on DNA doesn't say where I live. It just says I live in Ohio. So I'm messaging with her, and I'm like, well, where do you live at? Because I see we got mutual friends. I actually live in, Ohio, in Columbus, Ohio. And she's like, oh my gosh, I live in Columbus, Ohio as well. I thought that was so crazy. I mean, I was just like, oh my gosh. So we exchanged phone numbers and everything. And we actually, she invited me to go to church with her for New Year's. Now, wasn't that cool? My DNA cousin. But we actually have a lot in common. We're around the same age. She's just like me. She doesn't have any children or anything like that. So it's just been a cool experience so far. Let's see. Now, I will say too, if you are trying to like locate like your family and stuff like that, the people on DNA Ancestry, they're really not, some of them will, contact you or hit you back if you message them. But I'm going to tell y'all, the vast majority of them won't. Because the majority of people are really on there for the ethnicity portion. They want to find out, what their background is and things like that. And that's understandable. But yeah, some of them just really don't want to be bothered. So I really don't try to reach out to a lot of people. But like I said, if they reach out, like my cousin, she reached out to me. So I will respond. I'm not going to be rude or anything like that. But yeah. But so far, it's been a really cool experience. Like, just finding out things about your ethnicity and your background and things like that. And I like the fact that it traces both your mother and your father's side. Now, with that fourth cousin that I was telling you about, like, we don't know if we're on each other's. Well, actually, her mother took the test as well. And we found out that I share DNA with her mother as well as her. So more than likely, I'm on her mother's side. And she doesn't share DNA with my mom, so she's not on my mom's side. She's obviously on my father's side. Like, it is really cool. It's really interesting. But I wish they would. I wish they would break it down and tell you what side a person is on. But they say the more people in your family that takes the test, the better it is able to kind of like, you can kind of narrow it down to, okay, this cousin must be on my mom's side. This cousin must be on my dad's side. So the more people take it, the better off. Now, when I first did the test, I started off with like 156, fourth cousins or closer. Now y'all saw I was at like 200 and something. So people are definitely taking this test. So anyway, but yeah, that's my test results, guys. I just want to come on here and share that with y'all. So, I'm out. Peace.